Sometimes the charter school is worse than the public school. Sometimes the charter school is no better than the public school. So there's a lot of times I'm noticing where my clients will come from either a private school or a homeschool situation, and because the public craps so much on public schools, they go to a charter school thinking that it is going to be a better environment, and it's not public school. Well, first of all, charter schools are public schools, in that they have to follow all federal and state laws, in that they cannot discriminate about attendance, that they are free, that they are paid for by the state just like public schools. So they are. And so a lot of times, um, sure, a charter school can be a better situation than your school district public school, um, as long as your kid doesn't have any needs. If your kid has special needs, at least in my experience, and take my experience with a grain of salt because I get hired as an advocate when there's a problem. Sometimes the charter school is not properly set up to help the child that has a disability, and the parent's disappointed. And so when I talk to the parent about changing, schools, which I don't do that often, but sometimes I will recommend to a parent, let's take a look at the school that your kid is zoned for and see what they have. They kind of give me that blank stare or don't want to consider doing it because of all the crap they've heard about public schools. You, as parents, should be checking out all of your options. Typically, and it may be different in your district, if you leave a charter school or a school of choice like a private school or charter school, because of mandating that your kid has to be in school, they can typically start at their public school that you're zoned for the next day. Now, I don't know if you want to do that if they have an IEP, but I say to parents, when I see that a school is it as an advocate, I want to advocate for the school to get the kids' needs right. I want them to work on it. And so that's what I do. But when I see that it is going to come at a cost that is going to be detrimental to that child, or it's going to take a long time and your kid is being like the guinea pig for change in the school, then I will, rip the band-aid off with the parent and I'll say, look, let's be prepared for our options. Let's look at all of the other options in the area. If there's private school, if there's another charter school, if there is a public school or whatever, so that if you do need to switch, you aren't put in a position where you are forced to and you're desperate. And so that's what I say to you. If you feel like your child doesn't have a good relationship with the school, or maybe they're in a situation where they're being bullied and bullied from all corners or whatever, and they just can't come back from that, take a look around, consider your options so that you at least know what it's like out there, so that if you do need to make a switch, it's not that scary.